4:01. Nancy, would you like to call roll, please?
Sure. Deborah Carter,
Here.
Kim Sella,
Here.
James Cotter, Ed James,
Here.
Raisha Rollins, Ben Samuels,
Here.
Jordan Sanders, James Neely, Patrick McCully,
Present.
Stephanie Streeter.
Okay. All the others in attendance, will you identify yourself and your affiliation with this commission, please? St. Louis County Council. Okay. Department of Transportation, Public Works.
Ray Golick, St. Louis County Department of Transportation and Public Works, South Area Engineer.
Adam Spector, St. Louis County Department of Transportation and Public Works, North Area Engineer.
St. Louis County Police Department.
Brad Kelling, Commander of the Bureau of Transit Police.
St. Louis County Council.
I keep getting an error message that I don't have audio, so can you hear me now again?
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Great. Hi, Jen Frank, the Office of the St. Louis County Counselor.
By State Development Agency.
Hi, this is Tammy Paris. I'm the CFO.
I'm Tom Kern. I'm Executive Vice President of Administration.
Ron Forrest, Chief Operating Officer.
Kevin Scott, Executive Vice President for Public Affairs and Security.
All right, thank you. We're going to hold off on approving the minutes from the December 8th, 2025 meeting. I have to admit that I didn't get a chance to review them, and we'll do it at the next meeting. So next meeting, we'll have the December 8th and the January 12th. Okay. Reports. County Counselor Office, none? Okay. Department of Transportation, Public Works.
Well, following on last month's discussion about projects in the area around the zoo, our Great Street study for the Larimore corridor it's in its early phases. Right now, the consultant team is kind of finishing up putting together the public engagement plan. They're starting to meet with kind of focus groups and targeted interviews to kind of get a hang of existing conditions in the area. We're probably looking at about a March timeframe for a public meeting, a general public meeting. The small area study for the Spanish Lake area that's being conducted by the Department of Planning just kicked off within the last week. So things are just kind of getting started there. And so I don't have a solid timeline of when they're going to be reaching out, but that's just kind of getting started now.
Could you just give us maybe a brief summary of it at the next meeting, at least at the Spanish Lake? And I know the March timeline for the zoo area, that might just be in the infancy stages, but just bring us up to date on where we are and that it is an ongoing project and things are moving smoothly.
Not a problem. I can let you know everything I know. Just keeping in mind, these are studies. They're kind of identifying projects for the future and kind of starting to talk about the conversation about how to fund those projects. So, a timeline for any construction isn't set by these, it's just, again, just trying to figure out the best way to proceed forward so that any projects as they do come up will kind of fit within that general plan.
And at least keep us up to date on what we need to be looking forward to in the future. So we appreciate any updates you can give us. Okay. Representative of the St. Louis County Police Department. Oh, any questions of Public Works? I'm sorry.
No, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. County Police Department.
Good afternoon. Yes, I'd like to go over the end of the year numbers. Izzy, if you're able to share on the screen the reports that I sent over, the slides.
Sorry, give me 1 moment. All right, sorry about that.
Mr. Chair, I apologize. Can I ask Izzy, did we only have 5 members present?
Right now, we have James Cotter just logged in, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7. I believe. Is that correct, Izzy?
James Cotter and James Neely joined after.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
so there should be a total of 7 members?
Yes, you are fine on quorum now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can share. All right, I'm gonna keep myself muted because I have my kids with me. So just tell me when to.
Okay. All right, so what I provided to Commission is the end of the year stats from St. Louis County and St. Clair Sheriff's Department. Next slide, please. St. Clair, as you can see, year to date, from going back all the way to 23, 2025 was their the best year as far as it goes with crimes against persons. These are the most serious crimes, and you can see that it's gone from 30 down in 23 to 23 and 24 and 19 incidents in 25. So it's a great job by the crew over in St. Clair. Next slide, please. Also with their crimes against property, year to date, their numbers for crimes occurring in their venue on the trains or on the platform has gone down from 30 back in 23 all the way to 20 to 10 and 25. So outstanding work by those officers. Next slide, please. And then their numbers from crimes against society. Again, most of these numbers derive from the arrests that are made, the narcotics or weapons violations that are occurring. Next slide, please.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry. Are other, I may be having technical difficulties. Are others seeing slides up on the screen?
Yes, I will.
I am, yes.
Okay. I must be having tech problems. I apologize for the interruption.
No problem.
And from the St. Louis County Police Department, you're seeing the same results. Percentage change from 24 to 25 in the area of crimes against persons. You can see an almost 12% decrease in those type of crimes. I believe in looking into this, obviously it's, you know, giving props to the officers that are out there, you know, doing the best to make it safe for everyone. But this is also a big cooperation between not only our departments, but obviously by state and the security. I think the secure platforms have assisted a lot with making these numbers continue to drop, but a 12% decrease in crimes against persons and is huge. Next category, please. Next slide.
Excuse me for a second. This is Deborah. I have St. Clair County. Is that what everybody's looking at?
No, right now we're on St. Louis County, I think, Deborah. It's about the third or fourth slide down.
Okay, is there a different year-end report I need to pull up?
Now, the one that's titled BTP.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Reference the crimes against property. Again, we're looking at almost a 13% change. And a lot of this, as I had talked earlier in the year through our other meetings, we were adjusting our patrol tactics, again, using those two different platoons and that overlapping shift to maximize our officers out there and do some special enforcements to make sure that we're visible and that we're doing everything we can to keep things safe. And the results speak for themselves. Next slide, please. When we get again to crimes against society, this is up, but this is a good thing to be up because these are proactive officers out there removing. You can see the weapons violation. They broke the record this year for the most weapons, but they were out there hunting for them. We were doing everything we could to keep weapons off the train, keep it safe. 129 weapons they took off this year. Outstanding. That's a 46% increase. But again, that's a good thing. We want the weapons off the trains, the buses, the platforms. So the guys and girls are out there doing a great job enforcing those rules. So when you see the crimes against society, the 14% increase, again, that's proactive policing. It's a good thing. St. Louis City is still compiling their numbers. When I receive them, I will make sure that the commission gets them and send them. But they're going to be very comparable to both St. Louis County and St. Clair's end of the year. I believe that's it, unless anybody has any questions for me.
I have one.
Yes, sir.
We can detect when there's a weapon going on the train. We cannot on buses, correct?
Well, it's the same thing. The officers are out there looking. There's, again, when you Google metal detectors used on mass transit systems, the only thing that pops up is bi-state and St. Louis area, which is kudos. So again, when the metal detectors are in play, there's a whole different story. They're very good, but most of the time we don't have the metal detectors. They're roving metal detectors. They're put up at different platforms at different times. We don't have platforms at each place, unlike going to the ball game or to a hockey game or an event where you have to go through a metal detector. This is just officers knowing what to look for, finding weapons on people when they're making arrests, searching and finding weapons. But again, most of the time it's just watching the mannerisms and knowing what to look for.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any additional questions?
I just had a couple quick questions, if that's all right.
Go ahead, Kim.
First of all, congratulations on your numbers. Those are great. Can you tell us what are the numbers of your forces right now, Captain Kelling? How many officers do you have in the Metrolink task force?
Right now, with St. Louis County, we have 24 officers, 6 supervisors. St. Clair, honestly, I don't have the numbers for St. Clair. St. Louis City is kind of a hybrid. They have roughly 5 officers assigned. However, the difference between St. Louis City and St. Louis County, St. Louis City is able to utilize the officers that are riding in those districts that have the different stops and platforms as force multipliers. So just because St. Louis City is showing 5 officers on their transit police roster, they've got other officers that are backing them up on the platforms and patrolling with them.
What was that number for St. Louis County again? I'm sorry, Kim.
24 officers for St. Louis County and 6 supervisors.
Okay, thank you. Kim, you got additional questions?
I do. And what is that? How does that number compare to a year ago with your number of officers?
Well, I can only speak for St. Louis County. St. Louis County's had to reconsolidate officers just because we're so short, and that's a nationwide trend. So again, what we've done is, even though we probably a year ago we had upwards of 35 to 40 officers, so we lost 12, getting us down to roughly 24. understand we also have resources that we're able to tap into. As county is, again, reallocating the resources, we have a mobile reserve precinct consisting of 24 officers. I have used them to come down here and patrol during the summer months. Again, as we had talked in previous meetings, bringing our mobile precinct down here again as a force multiplier to go out there to show the citizens, especially during the Cardinal games, a lot of the events that we have, making sure that we've got plenty of officers on the platforms and the trains. So we are bringing in additional officers from St. Louis County to ride with our officers that are always assigned.
Great. And sorry, I just have one more question. When you were talking about the weapons violations, were those at a specific station or across the system on the Missouri side, or what are we looking at?
It's all from across the numbers for St. Louis County are in St. Louis County, anywhere from the airport all the way down to the city limits. At the different platforms at a lot of the bus stations, again, it's enforcing those code of conducts for the riders that everybody wants, the smoking, the drinking or eating on the train, and taking care of those little things leads to either an arrest or seeing that somebody's got a weapon on them and removing it from the train.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I had.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Deborah. Along that same line, we used to get a breakdown based on all of the locations so we could see where activity was happening more frequently.
I can get those numbers and bring them to you. Yeah, I'll have them Friday the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions?
All right, thank you.
By state development. The operations.
Okay. Sounds like I'm up. Are you going to share the presentation? Okay. Good afternoon. I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. Can we go to slide 2, please? Let's see, are we sharing? I'm sorry, you all. I'm having some technical difficulty here.
Can anyone see my screen?
We see the people in attendance. We don't see we did see at one time the operation screen.
Okay, I'm gonna open that up. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back and mute myself just so.
Okay. Let me move this over here. All right, slide 2. Workforce updates, starting with Metro Transit bus. Year to date, I have some year to date totals for you all. We have a total of 640 of our 650 budgeted Metro bus operators. Of that 640, 16 are part-time. And I know that sounds like a really good number, and it is. It shows that we're making some improvements. But out of those 640 or 634 field positions, we only have 618 operators that are actually active, meaning the rest are off on long-term leave. So they're not available to us, but they are still in our budget. But as the slide shows, we are making some significant improvement. We also had a class of 21 full-time and 5 part-time Metro bus operators start today. Now we lose on average approximately 10 Metro bus operators per month for various reasons. So if all of them graduate, They'll be used to replace operators lost through attrition and reassignment to other service modes like Metrolink. One of our primary focuses is to improve retention and reliability of our existing service, right? And so part of that solution is that we've recently, as I've said before, we've recently shifted our recruitment strategy to part-time operators so that we can, one, increase our head count within our already approved budget. Two, use the flexibility of having part-time operators to place any improved service in the areas that are most needed. And three, we want to give our operators time to acclimate themselves to the demand of public service prior to taking on that full-time role. Now, we are experiencing some success with our new strategy. In fact, at our hiring event over this past weekend, we made 29 part-time offers to MetroBus applicants, right? Now, our goal is to have is to double our part-time workforce before June 2026 service change. And if we're successful with that, and prior to any service increase, we're going to dedicate those part-time operators to improving service reliability, meaning we will first make sure we're putting out all the service that we've already committed to provide. Currently, we complete on average approximately 98% of our scheduled service, right? And I know 98% of anything, you know, that appears to be good. However, you know, that's not always the case in transit. All right, those 2% of trips that we on average have historically been missing equate to approximately 30 fully or partially missed trips every day. So the passengers really feel that when their bus doesn't come, and 22 of those are actually fully missed trips. So they feel that. So we would first shore that up. Then we'd look to see where more frequency is being demanded based on ridership numbers. We want to make sure that we are making decisions that are data-driven, and also whether the future, whether our remaining and future resources are able to sustain any proposed frequency increase within our approved budget. Right. Slide 2, please.
Ron, before we get off this slide, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said we lose approximately 10 drivers per month.
We do, yes.
Do we give exit interviews or something to determine why they're leaving?
We've identified that as a gap in our data collection, right? And we are addressing that. We currently we are not doing that, but again, we've identified that as a gap in our data collection. That will be very useful information for allowing us to understand why people are leaving. A lot of them are due to retirements, but some just can't handle the demands of public service. And so we want to understand if that is the reason, you know, that'll be useful for us. So we're making some moves to, you know, be able to collect that data in addition to other data, right? We want to be a very data-driven decision-making machine. And so I'm putting pieces in place, working with my team to put pieces in place now so that we can accomplish that. And ideally, we'd like to do it before the June service peak because we have some pretty significant decisions to make by then.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right. Do your part-time drivers get any benefits?
They do get they get partial benefits. They don't get the full-time benefits. So, but they do get some.
What does that include?
Let's see. They get some sick time. I'd have to look through the contract to see exactly what those part-time benefits are. And I can do that if you want, and I can also get back with you on it.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Okay.
I think if we can get something, if we can get something, a survey, not a survey, a summary of that for the next meeting, I think that'd be helpful because every time we lose somebody, we spend additional money for training. And, you know, that cost kind of adds up if we train them and they leave. So we can get those type of information to be helpful to us and to you.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Thanks, Deborah. Yes, James?
Okay. My question is whether or not the people who you say are on leave, is that paid leave? And what are the criteria for being on leave?
Well, on long-term leave, they're probably, there are all kinds of different status. They could be on workers' comp, they could be on long-term disability. So they're in some status that is over 90 days gone, right? And if you're out for 6 months, you're required to get a physical by one of our doctors. We'll look to see if in the future you're going to be able to return, and if not, if you are under 10 years of service, then you'll be separated. If you're over 10 years of service, then you'll be offered retirement. So, but they're required to submit doctor's notes, medical notes, continuing to establish the need to be off. But at some point they enter into what we call long-term absence, and that's after 90 days. I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you.
Okay. Any additional questions on workforce updates? Thank you very much.
All right. So we're gonna move on to Metrolink operations. Well, I'm still on slide 2. I'm sorry. Metrolink operations has 91 of 102 budgeted operators. We have a class of 12 operators scheduled for February, to start in February. Now those 12 operators will be pulled from Metro bus operator staff. So that number that we discussed earlier will go down by at least 12. So we should be in really good shape with Metro Transit with this next class. All right. Colorado has 185 operators. Now that's 5 over budget. However, as we've been letting you all know, and everyone else who will listen, the demand for our Colorado service has increased. It is back to and even above pre-pandemic levels. And that was at a time we budgeted for approximately 200 operators. So we're trying to get back to that 200 head count in order to meet the current and continuously growing demand. Now today we started a class of 9 operators, 5 full-time and 4 part-time. So we are seeing some progress with that, and we'll discuss Colorado. I know that's a big topic of discussion for you guys and area of concern. So we'll discuss that a little later. Now on the maintenance side, we continue to struggle there. We're down 54 mechanics, and that's spanning 4 different types of mechanic categories. And so we have a strategy for that, and we'll discuss that next. All right, now slide 3. All right, what are we doing for our maintenance team? All right, our solution to hiring more maintenance mechanic, that continues to be a work in progress, right? We're in discussions with the union on a solution that will allow us to recruit candidates as young as 18 years old from technical schools. I've said this before, the union wants to make this a part of contract negotiations. We are having a little bit of back and forth about whether that needs to happen in contract negotiations or elsewhere. But if those conversations fail to materialize, then we plan to hire those technical school applicants as maintenance apprentices and bring them into our apprenticeship program that we are awaiting final approval from the Department of Labor. Okay, slide 4. All right, ridership. System-wide, our ridership is over 6% compared to the same period last year. We're also up in all categories with Colorado, as you see, continuing to experience exponential growth. Our Colorado ridership is over 33%. Our Via Microtransit service, which is our public transit's on-demand version of Uber and Lyft, is up by over 19%. This service, which largely replaced some fixed route service in the more sparsely populated areas of the county. Provide customers door-to-door, curb-to-curb rides to any destination within a 7-mile radius in that county area. We also use VIA to provide approximately 7% of the trips that Call a Ride currently doesn't have the capacity to provide. So they are a very important partner for us. They're doing a really good job for us, and they are actually helping us, sustain the service levels that we're giving. All right, next slide, please.
Ron, before we get off of that one.
Yeah.
I know there's been questions in the past about the fare increase, when is a good time, when is not a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that not a way, but can you give us the fare differential between the Metro bus, Call a Ride, and this is really Micro Transit?
Yes.
How that works, how you qualify for that, and if you can just give us a short summary of what the rate differentials are on each of those items. If it's complicated, let us know. But I think that would be interesting because it's really not the first time I heard about the Micro Transit, but it seemed interesting when you compared it to Lyft and Uber. So if you can give us some type of a differential between the type of service and the rate for each of those services, I think it would be helpful to us as a commission.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You want me to prepare something and submit it to you?
You can prepare it and have it for the next meeting.
Okay.
Tammy, did you have a question or a comment?
No, I think I did unmute myself. So I know there's been questions, and I saw this as I was going through the agenda about the increase in fares. So we haven't adjusted fares in a long time, as Talby's mentioned in previous meetings, and we are really just our focus is really to get through the secure platform project, right, and then really look at what we need to do based on the reporting and information we get on ridership, and what that helps to better explain and for us to understand so that we know how to pivot and move forward. So we don't really have an answer to that right now, but it doesn't mean that it's one of our top priorities. It's something that we know that we need to do. The timing has just not been quite right. We've been waiting to get through this project. So we're very excited about the project itself and moving that forward. And so I'm happy to answer any questions you have on that.
Well, we'll get back to Ron and then you, but if I'm correct, the secure platform really just deals with the Metrolink. What about the bus, the Call a Ride, and the Micro Transit? Those will not be affected by the secure platform.
That is true.
Okay.
So the bus, so we have looked at, and we will continue to look at, and that is part of what this project will be, is looking at our bus routes. Which ones do we? So sometimes we do have problems collecting that fare, right? And so we work to collect the fare on the buses, and we will continue to do that. But by changing our fare, also that will change how we use the different modes. And it will give us more information on how we're doing that. So it will have, even though SPP, yes, the gates are just focused to Metrolink, and Tom, I don't know if Tom's on this call or not, but we are looking at how those fares interact, whether, you're taking them and you can use them on the bus and the Metrolink. So that will have an impact. And so that's why we're really looking for all the data. So we are looking forward to actually being at a point to assess that, look at that, and look at our revenues associated with it.
Thank you. I'll probably get more of that when we get to the finance part. I think Ron still has some information to share with us on.
Yeah, and again, I will get you the fare breakdowns, but like Tammy said, we are not at a point where we are raising fares. However, I do have my team preparing a strategy to have those public conversations. So,
I think we realized what you just said, and just keep it on the not the middle burner, but not the front burner, but the middle burner.
Right.
All right, Mr. James, real quick. We had Councilwoman Days was in the chat. She said the council asked for a comparison of fees with other areas of the country as well. She commented that She did not have the ability to speak. Now she has that ability. Just want to let you know, in case you didn't see.
Okay, well, we can pass that on to Ron and he can include that in his presentation for next month. Thank you.
I will. I'm sorry. I should have had that available this time, but I'll certainly get it again. I think that, you know, just from my experience, you know, we are on par with what other transit agencies are doing. Some do have zone pricing and surge pricing, but we're on par with what other transit agencies are doing. But I'll get some more definitive. I'll give you a more definitive response the next time.
Thank you. I think it's still in your court, Ron.
All right. The PowerPoint presentation is still being shared? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, where are we? All right, transit ridership. Okay, slide 5, please. All right, as previously referenced, our monthly caller ride trips taken has more than doubled from approximately 20,000 over 40,000 trips per month. And at the same time, demand for caller ride service is increasing. Those trip denials have remained at 0. And so our team is doing a great job providing all that service. And again, our overflow provider, ViaTrans, they're doing a great job helping us out. Okay. Slide 6. All right. However, due to the increased demand and capacity issues, we are struggling with on-time performance. Now, currently, our on-time performance hovers between 84 and 85%, and we have a goal of 90% or better, right? We're addressing that by continuing to hire part-time operators. We're also working with the vendor that provides our routing software on a solution that optimizes route scheduling, which is also contributing to the fact that the software doesn't operate or allow us to operate that software, use that software in a dynamic environment, is hindering our ability to really get that efficiency in route scheduling that we need to make. Right? Our dispatchers, sometimes they need to get in there and they need to go hands-on and they need to move things around, and they just don't have the ability to do that, right? So we're looking at that. In fact, an RFP is being developed right now to address that issue. They have demoed about 4 software options for us, and so we do see some promise with a few of them. All right. We also have a team evaluating the effectiveness of stationing caller ride operators at satellite locations like North County Transit Center and Brentwood, so that they're much closer to the service area and can get to passengers quickly. Now, this will be especially beneficial to the North County, where the bulk of our caller ride service trips occur. Lastly, we're evaluating dividing our caller ride service into zones with a distance cap. That cap is yet to be determined, and this is still in the conceptual stage, and we're still trying to evaluate this. But currently, caller ride operators, like I said before, they can get scheduled those back-to-back trips, and those trips can go from one side of the service area to the other, as long as and they can be as long as 18 miles, right, and even more. So, however, with this evaluation, the first concern that we have to solve prior to finalizing this plan is identifying locations where passengers can safely and comfortably transfer from vehicle to vehicle if they're passing through those service zones. Now, during our discussion with our SMART committee, participants expressed a willingness to consider different approaches to maximizing efficiency, including zone prices, right? Things like zone price. I heard people say, look, you know what? We understand the challenge. We understand that we have to, get to a point where service is working for the masses. And so if I want to, go to the Walmart, I want to take a trip in from North County to West County to go to that Walmart and shop, I'm willing to pay extra for that, right? So we got a lot of positive response from that committee. Now we're going to have this discussion with the bank also coming up this Friday. Another challenge is that we have to ensure that our scheduling software again is dynamic enough to handle the zone transfers. So the problem that we're having on the call a ride side, just without the zones, we need to make sure that the software is fixed before we go to any zone service, right? Or that defeats the purpose. Yeah. Now, we've identified that it's just not providing that flexibility for dispatchers to intervene. So all of that is being evaluated with the goal of significantly improving our service performance and fiscal sustainability within this year. But rest assured, our Call a Ride team, they're doing everything they can. Our customers that have expressed appreciation and they continue to do that. Our Call a Ride team, they receive over 400 commendations from our passengers, 400 thank you notices from our passengers every month. So they really appreciate our service, and it's just a reflection of how well our team is doing.
I can interrupt you for 1 second. I think
Yes.
Councilwoman Days was on the line and had either a question or a comment.
Okay.
Councilwoman Days, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't have any questions at this time.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right. Slide 7. Okay. A little bit more about our Call a Ride service as it relates to St. Louis County. I understand that that was a question that was sent to us as something that someone wanted addressed. So of our approximately 40,000, 40,000+ trips per month, over 66% of those trips start or end in the county areas. All right, and almost half of those trips start or end in districts 1, 2, and 4, with District 1 being the most heavily served. So this is a critical service in the county areas, and one that we are working very hard to sustain. Okay. Slide 8. Now this slide shows the breakdown by county. So I'll just give you a moment to look at that, to see the level of service in each county. As you can see, District 1 is leading the pack, followed by District 2 and District 4. Okay, slide 9. All right, we're meeting monthly with our MTAC. That team is led by Amy Park, our ADA coordinator. She's working very hard to cultivate and maintain that relationship. Those conversations have been extremely productive. We've been able to identify measures to improve accessibility and overall ride experience of those in the ADA community. Our next meeting, as I said, is scheduled for this Friday, the 16th. It's from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It's open to the public, and we encourage you all to help us get the word out. Those interested can visit our website. It's shown on the slide. You can get up-to-date information, including previous and upcoming subject matter there. Okay. All right, next slide, slide 10. Ride Every Route campaign. Okay, that's been extremely successful for us. As I said, we want to make sure that we transition ourselves to a very data-driven decision-making operation, and this is part of that. Now, we have a long way to go and a lot more to do so that we have more data, and we're using that data to inform our decisions, but we are on the road to doing that, okay? We've been riding in the mornings, in the evenings, on a weekly basis, and we have less than 10 routes left. So we've been making a lot of progress with that. This initiative is continuing to give us firsthand knowledge of our service and our operators' work environment. We've collected lots of feedback. We've developed internal working groups to focus on some of the themes that we're seeing in those feedbacks. These work groups have already developed very specific action items to address the concerns that we hear out there from both our customers and operators. And some of the most frequent requests that we hear, and I've shared this before, is they want more service. And by more service, I mean more frequent service. Right? We have our service frequency is from anywhere from 20 to 60 minutes. And at some point, we want to get that to down between 15 and 40 minutes, right? That's what they're looking for. They want fewer missed trips. We talked about those 2% missed trips. That has real impact when you're talking 30-something trips that don't go out in a day, right? Those are 30-something whole trips that are missed. So we have to improve in that area. They want more security, and of course, they want more rest areas and bus stop amenities, bus stop and transit center amenities. One thing I hate is when I'm driving through the service area, or if I'm on a bus or on a train or on one of our call ride vehicles, is to see an elderly passenger standing at a bus stop in the inclement weather with nowhere to sit and no shelter to house themselves. All right, so we have to make some much more progress in that area. Bus stop amenities, they make it easier for people to use our system. They make it easier for them to want to come out and wait for a bus. If they can sit somewhere, if they can, get out of the elements in a shelter. All right. All right. I'll get off my soapbox on that one. Slide 11, please. All right, our most recent service change that occurred last month in December. We incorporated a lot of feedback from our riders and operators. We made improvements to approximately 37 routes. They were mostly improving travel times and scheduled connections at transit centers, put a little bit more buffer in there so that when a bus arrives, the other one isn't leaving. So the passengers can make those connections. So it's something that we heard from them, and we incorporated that into our strategy. All right. Now, prior to implementing any service change, we clearly communicate the plan by placing signs on our trains and buses. We have the information on our web page with a priority red service change alert banner to make that information more salient. We push out notifications on our transit app. We do news releases, social media posts, and we get out in the community at key locations and communicate directly to our customers, right? So there is a very significant, robust effort around getting the information out, okay? Slide 12. Now, after a service change is implemented, we always closely monitor the performance. We continue to get feedback from operators and customers, which is used to inform our next service change. And so our goal is continuous improvement. If it's not working, we want to fix it so that it works, right? We're currently preparing for our March service change, and our service change for when Mid-America Airport comes online. We don't have an exact date for that, but we're expecting that when it does come online, we'll have to make some adjustments to our bus service to account for that extension. The date is tentative, but we're expecting sometime this summer for it to come online. We're also continuing to speak directly with customers through our Community Connect events at our train stations and bus transit centers. We held one last week, and and we didn't hold one last week. Wow. Okay. All right. Slide 13. All right. I know Chairwoman Days is interested in this slide, and here it is. So North County transit updates, and we'll specifically, want to talk about the Wildcat Park service. But the bulk of what we're doing is staying tuned to the progress of the county transportation studies, as was mentioned earlier, of Riverview Boulevard and Spanish Lake area. We're in those conversations, right? We're at the table. We're going to stay at the table. We want to be able to understand the future capacity of roads leading to the zoo. All right, like Riverview and Larimore. We want to know what those roads are going to look like. And this information will determine what type of vehicles and what level of service we can operate. So we're remaining in touch with county staff about that work. Now, regarding public transit issues, that was another, I received that in an email, public transit issues in North County. So I'm hoping that I'm addressing what the concern is. All right, we have 23 routes that serve Council District 1, with 10 routes serving Council District 2 and 6 routes serving Council District 3, in addition to the majority of District 4's landmass being served by microtransit service. Now, that's in addition to what I reported on earlier about the overall county. All right. Now, with all that said, all right, we can tailor our service with about 3 to 6 months advance notice to meet the needs of new destinations and demand drivers like the Wild Care Park and other community development that comes online. However, we need to ensure that we have operators, buses, and funding sources to cover those expenses, right? Okay. Slide 14.
James again.
I have a question on that one, please.
Yes,
Go
ma'am.
ahead, Councilwoman.
The, when you mentioned at the table, who are you with the zoo people at the table? Or it's just internal county people?
Well, with the county staff, we also communicate with the zoo. I've been at meetings. My planning teams, they continue to be involved in those conversations with the zoo and the county.
Okay. Well, it's going to open whether we're ready or not, and so we really don't want to present a facility or that people can't get to. That's the only point. So, and I know that Stephanie is on the line too, I believe. I saw her.
I agree with you, Madam Chair. You know, ideally, we would like to, you know, we're a critical part of any conversation when we're discussing community development. And ideally, we'd like to participate in those conversations in those initial stages, right? When we're talking about community development and we're conceptualizing this, public transit is an important partner. And so we need to be involved in those initial conversations so that we don't get to the point where we are trying to make up ground, you know, in the planning process.
Right, I understand that, but I think we are past the initial conversations on that, and with opening in next year, 27, we're probably past the initial.
Yes,
So
ma'am, we are. I'm just saying,
we're a little catch up now.
I'm just saying in the future, you know,
Okay.
and we're actually dedicating one of our staff members to make sure that he's scanning the area for community development discussions and making sure that we're at the table. So.
Well, would be nothing worse than having an attraction that people cannot get to. That means they won't continue to come. And we don't really want that to happen at this particular point with the Wild Care Park. So I appreciate your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Ron, let me, clarification.
Yes.
And in District 4, the majority of the ridership relies on Metro Transit or microtransit as opposed to regular bus service. Did I understand that correctly?
No. District 4 has the majority of microtransit service. So the demand for microtransit is greater in District 4.
Okay, but they still, okay. I didn't get all of it, but thanks for the clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Ron?
Okay, all right, I'm sorry. Slide 14. And we're coming to an end here. So slide 14. Can you hear me?
Yes, I mean, I can.
Okay, okay, slide 14 is up. All right, so this is a roster of our upcoming events. We have State of Transit in the region on Thursday, so hopefully everyone can attend and We're going to have some pretty good conversation. And we also have a couple of job fairs coming in February, and we're going to be showcasing one of our electric buses in an auto show at the America Center. So, last slide. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. And if you all have any more questions for me, I'll take them.
Go back to your slide about what's happening on the 15th. I didn't get that, please.
Okay, slide 14.
No, the event, you're having something on Thursday, the 15th.
We're having State of Transit in the Region. That's going to be hosted by CMT. Right? Citizens for Modern Transit.
Okay, where I don't see a place on there.
Chairwoman Days, we sent a link to your email, but I can send it again as well. It's available on our website at cmt-stl.org. It's free for anyone who wants to attend, and it's an update all things transit in the region.
Okay, would you resend that, please? I don't remember getting it. That's not on you. That's probably on me.
Sure. I'll send it again tomorrow, either this evening or tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank
Ron,
you all.
Ron, thank you for the very informative update on the transit and I know we gave you a lot of homework, but I think the main thing is that is a lot of homework, but we just want to be informed of a lot of different areas. And if you can't give it all at one time, give us a little bit at a time, but make sure that we get enough each time so we can basically see where everything is headed. So thank you very much.
Will do.
Security.
Hi, good evening. And
let me back up 1 second. I'm sorry. We did have Mr. Roach was going to give us an update on the rate increase, and I think that Tammy gave us a good overview of what that's going to look like. And maybe in the coming meetings, we can just keep digging into it. And I know based on the conversations we've been having over the last year or so, is that's not one of these things where you can just sit down and push a button and say it's going to happen. But I think that the conversation tonight really helped us in moving forward with it and understanding a lot of the different complex areas that we have to go through. So we can continue to get maybe monthly updates, even if they redundant from month to month, is basically saying that we're still looking at it. And another one of Mr. Rose's discussions was going to be on the driverless or no drivers vehicles. And we can just hold that for the next meeting if possible. Representative Day, Councilwoman Days, you have a question?
No, thank you.
Okay. So if we can maybe just get an update. I know he said it'd be short, sweet, and harmless, but I think we still need to look at these areas because I think a lot of it might have to do with connecting with the zoo wild park because of the isolated location that it's in. It might be beneficial there. But any update, we can hold it off to the next meeting. Okay, that being said, security.
Sure. So on the agenda, you wanted an update on the secured platform plan. And so I'm here to do that. And my colleague, Tom Kern, can talk about the fare collection side. He is leading that project. But just as a reminder, the secured platform plan focuses on the high security gating, fencing, and the complete upgrade and reconfiguration of our closed circuit television system in all of our existing 38 Metrolink platforms, as well as a 39th platform that is being constructed at Mid-America Airport. Although that is a separate project, those contractors are going to equip that new platform in the same fashion, and they've been supplied all of the SPP material. We have 11 platforms completed, and they are operational in an interim mode, meaning we have security staffing at the gates to bridge the gap between the old validator and the installation of the new validators that will actually talk to the gates. We have seen a significant reduction in overall incidents at those 11 locations to the tune of around 50%. And those are very preliminary numbers. Obviously, the entire system is not gated and operational yet, but the trends relative to security are moving in the right direction at those locations. The remaining 28 locations, both in Missouri and Illinois, are currently under construction. Cosney Wagner is the construction firm in Missouri, and Millstone Weber is the construction firm in Illinois. And we are working to install the last gating arrays at the remaining locations. We believe that by the end of January, we'll have all the gating arrays installed. We will have all of the wiring and fiber infrastructure in place, although we'll still be working on some connectivity. We are postured as we get the new fare collection system in, the new TVMs in, and the new validators in. We're postured to be able to open those subsequent locations. We are running into some issue relative to the supply chain with welded wire fence paneling that is coming from Canada. We do not think that that's far behind, but we do have a plan to put in temporary fencing until the new permanent fencing comes in. It's mainly impacting some of the locations in Missouri. I think we're in pretty good shape on the Illinois side. Relative to the closed circuit television system, I can't tell you enough how important that upgrade is. So we're installing the last remaining cameras, and we've taken our closed circuit television system from where we started at the beginning of this project to around 800 cameras. All was basically situated in poor locations, and it was old analog technology. We have repositioned our cameras, so there's a security priority. We are installing new Bosch digital cameras, and we are increasing the number of cameras from 800 to 2,000, and that's where we will be by the end of this month. All 2,000 cameras are being fed into our 24/7 real-time camera center, which was the first phase of this process when we started a couple of years ago. In addition to that, all of our active trains and all of our current active buses have been equipped with live view capability. So we have the ability from the camera center to live view into those vehicles. It becomes extremely helpful when we get information that something's going on in a train and we have to dispatch law enforcement or security. We're able to articulate to them in real time what they may face or what's going on when they get there. So I think that's having a true real impact. And so the camera system itself has proven to be a regional asset relative to law enforcement across the region and the investigations that they do and how we can support that. So again, as you drive around, especially on the Missouri side and the St. Louis County side down in the city, you will see construction and gate arrays being finalized at all of these different locations. And again, we are positioning the infrastructure side of the SBP project to be well equipped to accept the new fare collection system upon that arrival and that installation. So with that, if you don't have any questions relative to the gates and the fencing and the cameras, I'll turn this over to my colleague, Tom Curran, to talk about fare collection.
Thank you, Kevin. As mentioned already, we've got 11 stations that are finished with the new Metrolink validators. They're coming from a company called Misabi. We've been looking at that very closely. In Quality Mobile Installations is Misabi's subcontractor. They performed all of the validator installations to date at the 11 stations that are finished, and they're scheduled to return to St. Louis next month in February to complete all of the package 3 and 4 Metrolink validator installations. So that's all of the remaining stations. Bi-State has had a prototype ticket vending machine, or TVM, in the passenger revenue department at DeVolver for several months now. We've been using it to test for the actions that we need to have done before they're installed in the field. And a second TVM arrived at DeVolver on January 5th, so last Monday. That machine is being prepared for configuration and additional testing beginning today. A representative from Indra, the TVM vendor that's based in Spain, is in town today and tomorrow to complete that process. And the second TVM is part of the first 5 TVMs that are scheduled to be installed for the pilot program in early February. We are pushing our TVM vendor really hard to accelerate their production schedule, which is lagging the original plan. We know that the validator installation should be complete in February or maybe early March, but they will definitely be prior to the ticket vending machines themselves. And then next month, I should be able to report on our progress on both the validator installation and the first TVMs in the field for our pilot program. So I know we're short on time, but I'm happy to answer any questions in regard to fare collection.
Questions on security, either the platform or the fare system? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So this afternoon, we're going to talk about our financial results through November 30th. Looking at revenue, what you'll see budget or the budget is that our revenue side is up about 3.8 million. Some of that is timing. We are seeing improvement, as we've been mentioning, in passenger revenue. It's up about 1.1 million as of this month that we're reporting on currently. What you'll see is the sales tax numbers had shown a greater deficit. Those numbers are improving. So you can see, if you look at the report, that we do see quite huge swings at times. It just depends on, what is involved in the monthly reporting and what they're collecting for. So the numbers are looking better. So overall, we're seeing total revenue up by about 3.9 compared to budget. When you look at expenses, you'll see that our actual to budget is about 143 million compared to 149.6 million. So our expenses are down by about 6.5 million compared to budget. This is primarily due to our service line items. So that's where a lot of our contracts sit for cleaning and different things like that. This can be a timing issue. So ultimately, our income for November is showing at 5.6 million approximately. We do know some of that will be timing, but it won't all be. So we are very closely watching sales tax. I know there was some other questions on the agenda related to sales tax, and I think it was referring to where we are to date. And to date, sales tax is up. It's up about 3%. But that can change very quickly. So we observe it. We have the report that we put in the reporting every month, and looking at that, you'll see that we do see swings of this nature. I think most of the other questions related to last year and the year-end results for last year, and we are still working with the county. Our hope is that we're going to have a committee of the whole meeting with the county council in January to discuss the $7 million shortfall from the prior year. We have had some conversation with Chris Grant Howard, who is the budget director there. They had asked some additional questions. We've provided that information. And so we're hopeful that we'll get a meeting in January so we can talk through that in more detail and provide information as needed. And I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have this evening.
Thanks for that. Any questions of finance at this time?
Tammy, is there any date for that committee as a whole? And has anything else been discussed if the 7 million, if you don't receive it?
No, so we haven't had any further discussion. We did provide some additional information to Chris for the council, and we do not have a date yet for that meeting, but the idea was we were planning for January, so we're still hopeful that we'll get a January meeting.
Kim, this is Richard Days. We will be scheduling that as soon as we possibly can. Tammy recognizes that we did have a list of questions that we sent to them, and that is going to be the basis for the meeting. So we'll probably cover all of that, but we'll let you know when that will be scheduled.
Thank you.
Thanks, Councilwoman. Okay, any additional questions for finance at this time? I'll hear from you soon on these other issues, Tammy. And like I said, thanks for the updates that you gave us earlier on the infrastructure and everything that goes into that. Complicated. Okay, at this time, communication marketing.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate it. I'll just keep this really brief. So Mr. Force took a great job. He took care of the upcoming events that we've got on our calendar up through February. Obviously, we're going to have some more Community Connect events. I will share those with Izzy so that she can disseminate them to you all. Update on interviewing potential applicants through Zoom was on the agenda. That is Mr. Scott along with our HR team. They are collaborating currently and working on that particular initiative. And I know that he'll be able to speak further on that later on. Public affairs announcements. Obviously, you've got the report in front of you. I think something that I would really like to mention is that we continue to have that strong visibility with regard to community-focused initiatives. So we're going to continue that vibe. We're going to continue that feel in 2026. One of the biggest things that I'm really excited about is that we'll be meeting here shortly, CMT, Rideshare by State Development, and BJC Medical, Washington University Medical, and Children's Hospital. We are all going to meet to discuss how we can collaborate in the upcoming year, along with the fact that we will be sitting down with Forest Park Forever to discuss how we can also continue to collaborate with that organization. So those are some pretty big, cool things that are coming up here in 2026 for the public affairs unit. Other than that, I really don't have a whole lot to add. We've had a lot of good coverage. I hope that you've seen some of the media coverage that we've been getting. Lots of great stories that are not about, the things that you normally hear about that are going on around the region, but rather stories about technology, innovation, things that Bi-State is moving forward. So, anyone have any questions for me?
No, I think this is James. I think I mentioned this earlier. Have we contacted or tried to do anything with UMSL, University of Missouri St. Louis? Because right now we have 2 stations on their property, on their campuses. And I know they're going through some renovations and some major renovations on both campuses, north and south. And with the Two Hill being right on one of the south north campus, have we done anything to really show programs or show what we can do as Bi-State or the transit system to really improve ridership in at least those 2 areas?
Yeah, absolutely, Commissioner. That's a great question. Yes, we are planning on doing that once our platforms are completed with regard to construction. And just so you know, with regard to the secure platform plan, I'm in charge of communicating all the progress out. And UMSL is one of those individuals that I reach out to probably almost on a weekly basis to keep them informed so that they can disseminate the information down to the student body. And then most recently, we did have an event. Bi-State was featured. Mary Lamey, I'm sure you saw, was featured at our TED Talks at the Two Hills School. So yeah, we do collaborate, and we are looking forward to getting out there with ambassadors, sir, once the construction is completed.
And we also have a government agency on within 2 blocks of one of the metro stations south. So go ahead, Councilwoman Days.
Yeah, that was the USDA building
Mm-hmm.
right next to the city hall. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and
great ideas, and I will definitely be on the lookout to make those contacts in 2026.
Appreciate it. Okay. Any other business to bring before this council tonight? Okay, hearing none, I think everybody got a little homework for the next meeting, so there's no old business, new business. The next scheduled meeting is February the 9th, 2026, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it will be right now a video conference. Hearing any other business, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Move properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.